Hello everyone, my name's Thomas. I'm going to be talking today about vulnerability. I know a lot of you guys and gals have been seeing what's happening in the world right now. And we're being asked to really look at ourselves and really look at what's going on around us, because there's so much happening right now and there's so many things that we don't know how to deal with, and we don't know what's going on. Recently, I've been tested in different ways. Walked away from former people, walked away from people that no longer served my highest good, and it's led me to question ideas I've held within myself and things that I've wondered about and things that are happening in the world and in the spiritual movement. And it's honestly, it's hard. There's a lot to deal with internally right now. I know for myself that things have just not been the way I've wanted them to be. So I've had to take an internal audit of what exactly I was listening to and what exactly I was going through, because over the past year, so much has happened. So much has started to, everything's good, Carrie. Actually, everything's better than good. Because it's kind of like things have just become more clear. And we're looking at a thing that in this world that we have that's happening, and how things are connecting, and what's the right move and what's the wrong move, and where are these people coming from that we're looking at, and how things are changing around us. For all of my spiritual ability and everyone else that's watching, all of your spiritual ability as well, we're starting to see things in a whole different light from a whole new understanding. And we're starting to make new alliances, and we're starting to let people go that just don't work for us anymore. And there's new platforms available for us to go live on, because I know a lot of you guys that are watching, you're wanting to reach a wider audience. You're wanting to reach more. And I'm going to tell you that if this is what you want right now, you're going to have to ask Source, God, Universe, what it is that you want to do and what it is that you want, so these things can come into your experience. I've questioned the divine masculine approach. I've questioned the divine feminine approach. They're all very good. But at the same time, I'm asking if we're being authentic in what we want and what we want to do in the future with spirituality and how we want to be seen. So many people for so long have been afraid to show themselves, been afraid to show what they can do. And the doors are opening. This is where the chosen come out. What do I mean by this? So it's been predicted throughout so many different sources of the chosen and what they have to offer and what they have to do. And we don't have all the answers yet. It's one thing I get from a lot of clients is who am I? What am I supposed to do? And a lot of times I say, you can't know all the ins and outs. You just have to go through the doors that are being presented to you to show your authentic self, to show who you really are. And I know with me, I have a tendency to just say what I need to say, to show what I need to show on a camera. And it is what it is. It's part of me. I have this thing inside of me, and I know you do too, that it's time to be authentic in our approach, and it's time to be authentic in our integrity. Because things are changing around us. I mean, we see it on TikTok, we see it on different platforms. And I wasn't even going to go live today. I just said, you know what, I'm going to go live. I'm in my car, I'm about to head into the gym. I've got to record some TikToks and Instagram stuff and other stuff I have going on with business stuff. And the question becomes, though, what do you want to do with your life? Where are you at? 2 years ago, I was working a full-time job. And now I'm here. There was a lot that happened along the way. A lot of things happened. But this is where my guides and source wanted me to be. And these doors are starting to open. Now, I can tell you, when you start to walk through these new opportunities that are being presented to you, because they're going to be presented to you the same way they were presented to me, just different ways. Walk through that door. You're going to be scared. You're not going to be sure of yourself. You're going to be like, can I do this? Is this the right choice? Is this the right next step for me? The only way you're ever going to know is if you walk through it. It's the only way. Now, Lisa, as you said, you're waiting for signs. I'm of a much more different approach. I ask the universe what I want, and the universe gives it to me. I could wait for the signs all day long, but I might be 80 years old, I'm hearing, before I realize that maybe the signs aren't what I'm looking for. That maybe it's time to just walk through the door. Walk through the door, see what happens. If I hadn't walked through the door of going live on Facebook, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have all these amazing people watching me. And we have to remember that it's a balancing effect, that sometimes we see things as being pushed away or being revealed to us, and it's time for us to see the bigger picture in the spiritual community, or in our own emotions and our own mental. And as Tina says, people get signs all the time and they ignore them. And I 100% agree. When you get that voice, because your guides talk to you, Source talks to you, when you get that in your head, it's time to listen. Because we have free will on this planet, and it's important for us to remember that we do have this free will. Well, I can tell you, Diana, as you said, I am scared to walk through the door and open to something that's dark. There's no other way to do it. You have to walk through the door. Are you going to encounter obstacles? Sure. You're going to encounter obstacles in anything you do. This is just part of the process. You're going to encounter things that you don't want to deal with, and you're going to have to deal with them because you're being shown them for a reason. And it's time for us to step up. It's time for us to be seen. It's time for us to go with the opportunities that were presented to us. There was an amazing opportunity presented to me yesterday, and I said yes. And I was like, you know what? I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I'll figure it out. Because it's important. If someone gives you an opportunity, you just walk through the door. You go, oh shit, now I gotta do a whole shit ton of work to figure this out. Okay. Walk through the door. And this is another thing. So we have, hello Angie. So this is another thing we have. Walking through the darkness shows and helps us to appreciate the light. The darkness helps us to value the light. I'm agreeing with this because you for so long, I walked, because we have all these complex definitions of light and darkness, and I think it comes more down to an interpretation of what is this? We have to live our lives. We have to really live our lives. And we're going to encounter things, but it's just what it is. We have to be willing to actually walk through the place of understanding to see where we're going. Because this is the next step. If you want something, go for it. That's what I'm telling you. If you want something, go for it. Ask the universe. And when it happens, you may feel, based on your own conditioning, emotionally and mentally and whatever else you want to call it today, that you can't do it. But you can. When you start a job, you don't figure it all out at first. It takes time. You got to keep moving with it. It's just like with anything else. But we don't need the social structure of people telling us what to do anymore. We don't need this. And it is what it is. And for Pamela, you said, "Hi, Tom, I'm going to be off soon. I'm taking a break." I would also say, look at my TikTok and look at my YouTubes, because there's things I'm going to be talking about that I can't talk about here. And, it's just part of the world. We have to fit in with what's going on. And the different platforms have different people they reach out to and different levels of consciousness. And a lot of you are teachers that are here. And it's time for you to step out of the box and be seen. It is. It's time for you to step out of the box and be seen. Because life's like that. And sometimes we have to be willing to take the chance to do what we need to do. Because people need our help. And they need us to be seen. I mean, that's why I'm posting TikToks and I'm asking people to subscribe to TikTok, because it's a massive exploding platform and people can't really be chained down by what they want to say or what they want to do. And I love it. I mean, I love it. I get news about France and all kinds of other places, and it's absolutely amazing. And anyways, so I was actually looking at a comment here. Let me see this. So I don't want to go without a comment, Rebecca, but we have Simone here. I feel like I'm the only one who is afraid to be a healer and do the spiritual work when I'm facing fears without knowing what is going to happen. Everyone's feeling this. As I said with myself, I'm being presented with opportunities that are going to make me a much more seen person. And it's scary, but at the same time, it's what I came here to do. It's what you came here to do. My TikTok is all over my page. So all you really have to do is click it, and it's in the video. I'll have a link tree up soon, which will have every single link, and I'll probably put it in every live and every YouTube and every TikTok. I'm going to have all these links to all these different platforms. But it's on there. It's Thomas Sawyer 777. Probably just going to turn it ThomasSawyer.com. But right now it's Thomas Sawyer 777. Anyways, but this is what we're being called to do. We're being called to speak more truth, more things about what we want to do. If we want to be a healer, if we want to be a channel, if you want to be a medium, any of these things, if you just want to speak truth, it's time to speak the truth. Because we're walking into a whole new paradigm of understanding. And for so long, I sat in a more masculine paradigm because maybe I was afraid. I'm a Cancer, but I'm a Gemini ascendant. And so there's like two sides to me. One's very extroverted, one's very introverted. It's just which one you get that day. And I'm sure it's with everyone it's like that. But we have to be willing to actually be seen. I mean, even with this platform, as wonderful as Facebook is, it probably won't even be around in 2 years. I just have a feeling. And so we have to remember that there's so much to spirituality that we're not even seeing. And there's so many things that we learn from as we grow. But we can't look at things when they fall away that it's a bad thing. Because things fall away for a reason. Things fall away because they need to. And it's time for us to step it up. It's time for us to really walk into our power and walk into our heart, into our space of love, into our space of knowing, and move more into that energy. Because it is what it is. I mean, I love saying that, but it is what it is. It's like you either take the opportunity or you don't. You don't want to be 80 years old. Reminds me of Martin Luther King's speech. You don't want to be 80 years old and look back at your life and be like, could I have done this? Could I have done this next step? I'm speaking to all of you that's watching. Could I have done more? You don't want to be there. It's time for the chosen to rise. Now, you can't wake up all the sheep, but I'm telling you, it's just like the post I put on there, the United Healing Collective. It's time to wake up all the sleeping lions, because that's what's going to change everything. Some of you are the sleeping lions. It's time to rise. It's time to be more. It's time for you to do what you need to do. Now, what does this mean, though? You got to look at your emotional stuff. You got to look at your mental stuff. You got to look at your traumas, the things that have held you back. They're there for a reason. We agreed for this when we came in our life contract. We agreed for these things when we incarnated into a human body again, that we would deal with certain issues and we could either get stuck in them or get through them. Process is not easy, believe me, I know. And there's going to be beautiful things that happen for you, and there's going to be pain that happens for you. But I can tell you what, even a year ago, I could have done this already, my guys. So they're like, you could have already been on a whole nother level, Thomas. And you are. But you could have been on a whole nother trajectory already. But here we are now, and we can't focus on what could have been. We have to focus on what is happening now. Because even with me, I've had loads of people that have helped me tremendously along this path, especially in the last year. They're waiting on me to do something. Now I'm doing something. So be prepared, because things are going to get a lot more easier. And you need to remember who to lean on in this time right now. It's interesting, Rebecca, you mentioned the Templars. I used to be a Templar. And someone pointed this out to me. And she was like, Thomas, you used to be a Knights Templar. Do you know this? And I was like, yeah. She goes, in that lifetime, Thomas, you had mastered the way to manifest like Jesus did. And people were a little afraid of you because you could manifest whatever you wanted. And it's something I can do in this lifetime as well. It's just I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to manifest everything too fast. But now I'm just like, I'm bored. I want to manifest more. I want to see what I'm really capable of. And that's what I'm saying to you guys too, you guys and gals, is that it's time for you guys to manifest what you want. Because this is a whole new paradigm. Start scripting. Start looking at what you can do spiritually. Get your hands on some people. You guys have got psychic friends. Go out and look at who you can work on, how you can do things. And it's very important. Now, I'm not sure about human design, but I know it works. I just don't know much about human design. But as I'm looking at Lisa's comment, and human design says I'm a protector manifester, then you need to go with that, because there's people that need protection. There's been a lot of lifetimes where I've been a protector. There's been a lot of lifetimes where I've been a warrior. That was my friend messaging me. But, and there's a lot of lifetimes where I was scared of what I could do. And at least in this one, maybe in other lifetimes, I don't remember. That's the thing. I remember bits and pieces of certain lifetimes. And I could literally change the fabric of reality, but that's what they want us to do. Does this make sense? This is what they want us to do, to actually script our lives and to ask for what we want, especially right now. Because it is important for us to be something that more than we have ever dreamed of being. Or maybe it's what you have dreamed of being. And it's time to ask for it. It's time to set up the things that you need to do. Because it's going to take work. It's not going to be easy. You're going to have to dig into your emotions and dig into the parts of you that you don't want to look at. There's a lot of people, they put, and I do this too, but maybe not as much as many, is that they put a mask over them and they're like, this is who I am. But it's not really who they are. I'm more interested in see what's in that soul, to see to see who they really are in there, the vulnerability of it, the vulnerability of who you could be, the vulnerability of who you are, because it's going to speak to millions of people when they see what you're going through, when they see what you're dealing with. It's going to help heal them. I could come in here and rant and rave like I have before, and that's good. That's part of who I am. And we all get angry, and we have to be cool with that. You know, I recently had a reading. It was interesting because other people I don't want to talk to anymore. And it was one of these laws, and I found it funny to do. But you gotta have entertainment too. But they were like, you need to go back in the woods, and you need to do this. And my God, I feel like, yeah, that would be helpful. But not really. But it is what it is. And like, you need to work on your inner child and your heart chakra. And I was like, you telling me the old paradigm stuff here? Yeah, we need to work on that. But healing is a lifelong process of moving into different understandings of yourself and different understandings of who you are. And this healing's going to keep happening over and over and over and over. We're going to keep healing ourselves. It's a lifelong process. And there were certain things I wasn't seeing that I'm starting to see now, because the light is coming in super strong and we're here right now. Now, if you're coming into this feed, please share out and please follow if we're not friends. Just follow my profile. You'll get notifications. Yeah, at least I got it. I got it in there. I got what you were saying. But maybe you're more of a protector than you think. I'm not as apt to look at certain things anymore that people tell me I am and just look at what I know I am, unless it's coming from very trusted sources. But that's just me. Because for so long I let other people define who I was and what I would think or what I would do. And now I'm like, no, I'm going to do this my way. Because that's how things work. Just remember to be authentic and to speak your truth. The world's changing, and it's changing around us fast, and light is hitting us from such a strong thing that it's bringing up things inside us we need to look at, and it's increasing what we can do spiritually. Yeah, I have the book, The Gene Keys. As I said, Lisa, I have literally 143 books on Audible, and I've probably listened to like 120 of them. It's just, these things are very good, but and I'm not saying you shouldn't go with that, because if your guides are telling you to read something, then definitely read it. But at the same time, you can find a lot of this information simply by going into meditation, and they can show you things. But also at the same time, what I'm saying, what I feel I should be saying at least, is that we need to be looking at the emotional aspects of ourselves and the mental aspects of ourselves. How we're thinking is affecting our reality. And what we're doing is affecting our reality. We could sit in one place at a job that we hate and continuously keep doing this thing over and over again. We could just keep playing this game with ourselves, playing it over and over and over. Or we could just change and go with what we know we need to do, even if we're scared to do it. It's the only way things are going to change. And the thing is, like, if you're going live on Facebook or TikTok, or there's a tenacity to these things. You have to keep posting and posting and posting and posting until you build a following. If you want something, you have to be willing to do the work to get it. You know, I didn't get going to the gym. It took me a long time to get back into the shape, even close to what I was at 18, being 43 years old. But it took effort. It took determination. It took me going to the gym on a regular basis, and it took me working out a lot. So it's the same thing. Okay, I was looking at comments. Sorry about that. So I'm going to look at some more comments while we're here. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is there's so much. I could talk about extraterrestrials. I could talk about healing. I could talk about the realm of Mother, Father, God. I could talk about all these things. But I don't know if that's what I want to talk about now. I feel like right now it's focusing on what we need to do with ourselves to get to the next level. Because I know a lot of you guys are feeling this too. You're questioning some of the teachers you've had. You're questioning some of the people in your life. You're questioning things that don't really look like they work the same way. And our perception of things could change in a second. Be prepared for that. They could change in a second. And we have to remember that this is how things work. And it's just part of the process. Now, I'm going to tell you something else. And this is a little more masculine, but people are not going to like everything you do. Some people are going to be jealous. Some people are going to love you. Some people are going to be neutral about you. But it is what it is. It's your life. If you live by what other people are saying, and you don't trust what they're saying, you don't trust those people, or maybe you did it one time and now you don't, whatever, I don't know. But go with the people that you trust. It's why I keep my tribe a little small, but it's getting bigger. I put out the call to the universe. I want these people to go. I actually just said, I want the people to go that I don't need. And they just started shedding people. It was very emotionally hurting to me when certain people play the games they played, but we don't always understand the past life implications here. Yes, Rebecca, there's plenty of trustworthy people out there. I have plenty of friends that I 100% trust. And the circle's small, but I'm cool with that. These are people I hang out with a lot. And I look at the loyalty of their actions. And not even loyalty may not be the right word, but I look at what they do, and that proves where they are for me. That's just kind of how I work, because I work the same way. I'll show how I feel by my actions. I guess that's more of one of my love languages, like actions. So we have to remember that everyone right now is on their own path. But it's time for us to move into something more. So this next live, I'll have a link tree up with all my links. And if I can put it on Facebook, but here I can't. And TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Start following me there, because I can do more. I can say more about what I want to talk about. And for so long I felt things were being a bit chained up and I couldn't really say what I wanted to say. And lately I'm like, this is who I was. You know, when I incarnated on this planet, I remember this. It's pretty crazy. Is that I was up there and I was like, I don't want to incarnate on Earth. Those people down there are crazy. And I don't know how I remember this, but I do. I was like, I don't want to incarnate there, man. I've already been on all these other planets and dimensions, and I don't want to go back in a body on Earth of all places. Like, yeah, I get it's going to send, like, my soul growth will be massive, whatever. But, like, I don't want to incarnate there. I'm not doing it. And they were like, well, you shit out of luck, man. We're kicking you out. It's like, you're drafted. So that's what they did. They drafted me. That's interesting. I see that guy. I've been waiting on that guy to come back here to the gym. Anyways, another spiritual guy I run into on occasion. Anyways, so that's what I did. You know, a lot of you have the same thing. And you don't have to remember all your past lifetimes. This is something I get a lot too, is that they're like, well, all these past lifetimes, like, yeah, some of them are important, some of them aren't. You know, there was one where I was a farmer. There was one where I was a pharaoh. There was one where I was a high priest of Atlantis. A couple times. But the point is that there's one of the Anunnaki, Knights Templar, Ram of the Mongolians, Viking assassin, whatever. And you're not going to remember everything because your soul chose what it needed to choose in that lifetime. And it's just kind of how things work. I mean, I think on Earth, I'm on my 888th lifetime, which is the number of completion, hopefully. I'll be out of this reincarnation cycle after this one, as long as I pretty much do what I came here to do, whatever that is. And I can't remember, like, I don't know how many of those lifetimes. It doesn't mean that I'm not pulling information from some of them, or energy. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't think our human brains could even conceptualize what 888 lifetimes on this one planet is. And then we have other planets we incarnated on. So you see, it gets really high up there. And it's other realms. And, you know, I was a fire elemental. And I was like a fairy king or something. That's what they're telling me now. I was a fairy king or something. I'm talking about my higher self and my guides. It's like, whatever. That's great. But I'm here now. Show me what I need to know now, because this is where I'm at now. And show me what I need to know now. I think you guys follow where I'm going. And yeah, I have this crazy theory about the Vikings, Rebecca. And I'll get to you, Lisa, in a second on that question before I end this live. So I have a theory that the Vikings are very tied to the Anunnaki, and that's why they were so massive. And I'm hearing him right on this. Yeah, I am. And it's just what it is. And they have these ideas about the Anunnaki, and I'm not sure if they're all totally right. I'm sure some of them are, but some of them aren't. We have a tendency to look at things as if they're good and bad. And it's a matter of perception. And as Lisa said, how do we get into the Akashic Records? I can get people in the Akashic Records through sessions. They're going to show you what you need to see. I can tell you that. But everything's not accessible until you're ready to see it. There's times we'll do readings and we get blocked from seeing certain things because they're like, nope, can't see that for that person. They're not ready to hear that, is what I'll hear. So they're like, we're not even going to show you. But how to get in the Akashic Records, it takes time. Some people have access already. Some people don't have access. And I'm just looking at comments here. I apologize because there was something I was supposed to see. Yeah. That's the thing is, and then sometimes with these lifetimes, we're holding fractals of parts of it. It's like some people think they're Archangel Michael or something, or they're Jesus. I'm not saying Jesus isn't here. It's going to be controversial. Nothing I haven't said before, but Jesus isn't a human body. But still, yeah, sometimes we have these fractals of other lifetimes, and they go to a bunch of different people because they're like, which one of these people is going to step up? But that's what I'm saying to you. It's time to step up. We had a comment here. I need to look. Yeah, be careful what you ask when it comes to getting into the Akashic Records. You know, I've seen lifetimes where I've done some pretty crazy things. And I've seen lifetimes where I've done pretty amazing things. And I used to feel guilty about the crazy things. But then I was like, well, that's what my soul chose to do. And it doesn't really apply to me now. Or maybe I needed to learn something in that lifetime, which applies to this lifetime. You see how convoluted this gets. And there's higher knowledge bases in the Akashic Records. That's the thing. I mean, there's dimensions where there is more information, or there might be even realms of information that we put part of our who we are in these realms. And sometimes we spend entire lifetimes just trying to get back to the point we're at now. And it's a little crazy. Because I got stuck in a bunch of lifetimes before this one, where it wasn't very spiritual at all. Like, I was like, whatever on that stuff. But it was stuff I had to learn, my guys are saying. So sometimes you kind of fall into a place of not knowing, and then you have to crawl into a place of knowing, and it just depends on how things work out for you. But right now, what's happening is super important in the world. And we don't even see the full picture yet. We don't even have a total idea. And I could be one of these people that comes at you with a total thing about love and all this stuff. And, yeah. You know, I can tell you one way to get into the Akashic Record. And it's free. You could go find a past life regression. This was told to me by a friend. I just have to make sure I can say this. So, I did a past life regression, and I saw that I was in Egypt, and I was like king of the serpent society. And I know a lot of people have things about snakes, but it's Judeo-Christianity did this for a reason. And maybe they were afraid of what people would really discover about their power, I'm hearing. And I was like, the Romans came and killed us, or something like that. But then my friend went into the Akashic Record, and she was like, it's crazy. I had this dream. I went in there, and there were all these books thrown everywhere. And because I was in the Akashic Records looking for the one lifetime I needed to look at. And I didn't really even perceive I was doing it that way, because it's not the normal way I'd look in the Akashic Record. And she's like, I found one book, and there was a snake symbol on there. It was like a red book, and it was like a serpent on there. And, or a snake. And, yeah, that's what it was. But that's the thing, there's a lot about some of my past lifetimes I can't even say. I'm not ever going to say on camera. And there's no way. So, because it's too important for my soul growth, and I don't want everyone to know who I am, or what I've done. So, because it's going to be done again on some level. So you can't hold all your cards on the table, especially when you're doing live videos. So I have a tendency to be very, very transparent in what I say. And it just is what it is. I'm not sure on that, Simone, because it's hard for me to read a lot while I'm doing a live like this. Let's have someone with me, so I can kind of take a break and look at things. And speaking of that, there will be a live with, looks like it's going to be Thursday at 6 p.m. with Steph and Nora, who's absolutely amazing. And I'll be doing a live with her as well. And then I think me and John have one for Soul Treats in August. And there will be the Psychic Protection class. We're still working on that. And we just need to get a date on that. Be the first level of it. And things are going to be changing really fast. Yeah, I'm going to agree with Raquel. I apologize if I messed up your name there. Someone wants your attention. If you truly want to know, speak to them. Yeah. I agree. And sometimes we're really afraid to speak to our guides. Here's the thing. We have free will on this planet. So, at least like 85% now. To do whatever we want to do. So if you want to walk through that portal, it's up to you to walk through that portal. To move into that next set of energy. You have to be willing to do it. That's the key. These come with caveats. Sometimes it may not be the way you wanted it to happen, but it's the way it happened. If you want to be a medium, then you got to walk into that energy. If you want to be a healer, you got to walk into that energy. You got to do some work. If you want to be famous, my guys are saying, then you got to walk into that energy. It might already be in your life contract. You don't even know it. And you got to walk into that energy. It just is what it is. But at the same time, I don't know if we should, Raquel, wait until we're ready. I say just walk into it. Just do it. You want to be a healer, get your hands on people. I mean, shit. I'm sure you know psychic people. Might be surprised by what happens. Get my headphones in here a little bit better. Anyway, so yeah, of course, we have the free will to come back, man, but I don't want to come back to this planet. You kidding me? I want to go back up to like Sirius or one of these farther out planets next time. Where I have a lot more information, a lot more understanding of what I'm doing. That's what I want. So that's just how I look at it. I'm like, I've been here long enough, man. I completed my incarnation cycle after this lifetime, more than likely. So it is what it is. But yeah, and some people will still be here for the new Earth. But I'll it's like when the alien spaceships, and I'm gonna get really out here now, guys, and this is gonna be the last thing I say. So when Ashtar Command comes in and comes to pick up a lot of people from this planet, and it will. There's a huge possibility of this, to take away people. This may be what people have called the rapture. And they're going to take away a lot of people, but I'm staying. They're going to be like, you want to go, Thomas? Be like, some things I need you to work on with me. Now that we're like, it's not like they haven't worked on me consciously anyways, or taken me up there. But, or even spiritually, or just, I went up there, there's so many ways to explain this, I don't even know how. But the point is that when they actually physically take people, and they're like, do you want to go? You want to get off this planet? Yes, okay, cool. I'm gonna be like, no, I'm staying. I got more stuff to do here. It's too important. And it's gonna happen. Be prepared. As Tina said, I'm on the front lines and I'm okay with it. Yeah, that's the thing. I agreed not to go with them. I agreed to say I'm going to stay. But I don't even know when this is going to happen. It could be 20 years from now for all I know. But more than likely it will. Anyways, if you'd like to make an appointment, it's thomassawyer.com. I had to change. It'll still go to Angelic Support Agent, but it's thomassawyer.com. Just doing a search result thing on Google right now as we change that name. Because things are going to get more massive for us. We got to be willing to ask for it, pray about it, and ask, my guides are saying. And my higher self as well. Just pray for it and let it happen. It's that simple. Just move into the energy. And if you get caught in something you don't like, there's always a way to get uncaught and clear it out. That's how things work. And clear that energy. Thank you. Some guy walked by my car. And thank you all for watching me.